adjust the camera here. Some adjustments. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Live Talk. I'm your host, DJ R. Stewart. And as you can see, it's a last hash notes to get the show started on time. I'm just going to give up on trying to pre-schedule this show. There's just too many complications with YouTube and somehow the syncing between studio software and the streaming service with YouTube is hit or miss sometimes. The other night I was trying to do a show and I think someone reached out to me and told me that the show wasn't streaming. So I'd already done about 15 minutes of the show at that point. So I just stopped and gave up rather than try to fix it. So I'm just going to go ahead and just manually start the stream up at 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Central Time, and start the show at that time rather than trying to pre-schedule. So if you're watching the show live, thank you. If you watch the show later on from streaming it off YouTube, thank you. If you haven't already, please hit the like button to help us with the algorithm. Subscribe to the channel, and then share the link with your friends on other social media. It would really be a great help. So tonight we're going to talk about health. Start the week off talking about health, good health. Like I told you guys, my wife is in the process of starting a new practice. She's been in the health and fitness business for over 40 years. She used to have a gym in the downtown area. Now she does more consulting and concierge service for her clients, and then online training. So she's this new practice that she's looking into starting with her partners. It's basically a longevity practice. They're going to focus on how to help people. They call it the 100-year body. I personally would like a 100-year body, especially if I'm still viable at 100. I'm not in diapers and I've lost my mind, don't know where I am, can't remember anybody. But hey, if my brain's still functional, I can move around, I would love to live to 100. So that's my goal now. So they launched their website. It's called thelifestyle360.com. thelifestyle360.com. And let me see if I can post that here on the show. Let's see if I can add text. Okay, so it'll be, of course, www, but you don't have to. thelifestyle360.com. Okay. And so I'll get this positioned over here. I don't want to move my logo. Oh, here it is. It's a little large, so let's see if I can shrink it down. There we go. I think that should do it. All right. Nope. It's a misspelled word here. So I have to fix it. Well, I can't fix it. Rats. I'll have to delete it and take it away. You get the gist of it. So instead of the O, it should be an L there. Or it should be something else there instead of. I'll try it again. Hopefully this time I can type better. DLIFESTYLE, got that right, 360.com. Okay. Now I told everyone that I was going to work on getting out some free stuff, which I have. Yeah, there we go. thelifestyle360.com. I'm gonna leave that up here for the duration of the show. Go there. They have something they call a longevity test, which called the LLS, which is a lifestyle 360 longevity score. And if you go to the website, it's up at the top, main menu, and click on that, and it brings up a survey that you need to fill out. It only takes about maybe a minute and a half. It doesn't take very long. And you click it out, it asks you a series of questions, and it's going to ask you for your estimated age, life expectancy. If you don't know, look over to the right of the survey, and there's some categories there, depending on whether you're white or black, you're male or female, Hispanic, Asian, whatever category you fall into. There will be your life expectancy will be listed there. So take that number and put it in life expectancy, and then finish the survey out, answer the rest of the questions, then hit submit. It's going to give you a number. Either going to give you a positive number, which means you're going to live longer than the average life expectancy, or it's going to give you a negative number, which means that you're going to die a little sooner at the rate that you're going. Now, this is not a medical scientific evaluation. It's a rough estimate, people. If you get a bad score, don't panic and think that the world is coming to the end, the sky is falling, because it's not. This is just kind of a guideline to kind of let you know about where you are. Now, the folks at thelifestyle360.com, they can actually go through a more a detailed evaluation when you're looking at your lab work, getting your VO2 score, your blood pressure. I mean, they have a number of matrices that they look at, and they can fill out theirs, which is a little more complete, and give you an actual number. Do an evaluation, see where you are strength-wise, endurance-wise, based on the medicines that you're taking, and they can really give you an assessment of whether you have a chance to live to 100, or maybe if you meet life expectancy. If you're fairly healthy today, that's not saying a whole lot. If you're relatively healthy today, I mean, not super healthy, but just average healthy. Average healthy today will get you an average life expectancy, generally about 70 to 75 years, somewhere up in there. Everybody falls in that category. That's if you're reasonably healthy. You start throwing in kidney issues, high blood sugar, diabetes, high blood pressure, vascular disease, heart disease. Your heart is weak from having too many fluids. See, the more conditions that you have, the more medicines that you have to take to deal with these conditions. And each one of these medicines that you take has a side effect. And over time, those side effects, they may not manifest right away, but the longer you take the medicine, when you hear the commercial, they talk about these side effects. You know, uncontrolled bowel movements, they have this and that, and your arms got fall. I mean, all kind of bad stuff over some toe fungus medicine. So that means if you take the toe fungus medicine, that all these bad things are going to happen to you. No. What it means is, the longer you take the medicine, eventually you're going to roll snake eyes. The longer you take it, the more chances of one of those bad things that they list in side effects is going to happen to you. Not just once, but more. Once it started happening, it doesn't just happen once and go away. The worst ones that get me is because they list the side effects by the frequency that it happens. So whatever they list first is the one that had the most frequency. So they start off with death and stroke. I'm like, man, come on, you can't start off with death and stroke and heart attack. That can't be your first symptom. That's the first side effect, first two, or the first three. You need to bury that in the details somewhere later on in the commercial. But some of these medicines, they start off with death, stroke, and heart attack. Patients have been known to develop death, stroke, or heart attack. Like, wait a minute, really? So, I'll tell you a personal example. Many years ago, I was sort of misdiagnosed. I have a brother who had asthma. He passed away last year. And he had suffered with asthma his whole life. And I started creating a condition where I was having trouble breathing. And my doctor thought it was asthma because it sort of ran in the family. Well, his brother had asthma, chronic asthma. And he put me on Symbicort and another medicine, two inhalers. Now, the other medicine, I can't remember the name of it. Like, anytime you have trouble breathing, you can use this daily. It's okay. Just pump away. It'll help open your lungs up, get some of the fluids out of your lungs, so you may cough up some phlegm. And then the second one, the Symbicort. Now, he said, only use this in emergencies. Now, if you really have trouble breathing and this first one doesn't quite do it for you, then and only then you use the second one, the Symbicort. But don't make it your first one. Don't use it every day. And the reason being because the number one side effect of Symbicort is death. You die. It does great for opening your lungs up. But over prolonged use, over a long period of time, if you continue to use it, it creates a condition where your lungs lock up. And it just won't open. It won't contract. They don't open it and contract. They just lock up. And you suffocate. And then you die. If somehow you can make it to a hospital within the first 3 minutes, you may have a chance that they can pump some air into your lung and get you breathing. But that's slim and none, that you're going to make it to the hospital that quickly. Or have 911 on the speed dial and to get here in time to put you on a breathing machine and keep you alive. 3 to 5 minutes, if you're still living, you're brain dead. They may get some air into your lungs, get you breathing again, but you're brain dead. You may as well be dead. Excuse me. Because you're not going to recover, once your brain dies like that, you're not going to recover from that. You're going to forever be brain dead. That's Symbicort. I mean, it works. Works very good. I only had to use it a few times. And I mean, I was shaking every time I had to use it. Concerned. But these medicines today, they all have side effects. The most popular drug out there today, I believe, is metformin. May still be number one. It's number one and number two. It kind of goes back and forth with another drug, a statin drug. So, but they both 1 and 2. The statin drug lowers your cholesterol, which is good if you have a cholesterol issue. Although cholesterol has gotten a bad rap here in the last 50 years, we blame way too much on cholesterol. But if your doctors want to reduce your total cholesterol, your overall cholesterol, especially your LDL-C, then they put you on a statin drug. And one of the side effects of the statin drug is it works too well. Because now we know there's a link now between low cholesterol, I say low, I mean under 50 or under 30 for prolonged periods of time, you starve your brain. And as you get older, you develop brain disorders, Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson. And so it's how do you help yourself today and risk long term being brain dead, or do you do something about the cholesterol issue that they think you have? Personally, speaking to some cardiologists and thoracic cardiologists, thoracic surgeons who are heart, well, I think cardiologist is your heart doctor, and thoracic is your heart surgeon. Many of them are starting to come to the conclusion that high cholesterol is not the issue. That the plaque that builds up in your arteries that can cause a heart attack or a stroke, that's a serious issue. And that stuff is, for all intents and purposes, looks like cholesterol, like LDL-C cholesterol. So the thinking was, if you just reduce your cholesterol, you can keep this stuff from building up in your arteries. Okay, wishful thinking. Because the reason that you have that cholesterol in your arteries is not because your body just decided to clog your arteries up. It's because your blood is too acidic, too much sugar in your blood. Sugar damages your organs, it damages your veins, it burns holes in your arteries if it stays in it too long. This is why high blood sugar is so dangerous. For your smaller veins, like in your eyes, it burns them out. Creates a condition where you start bleeding in blood and you can't stop. And eventually, your body just cuts that off in order to deal with it, to keep you from bleeding out. Well, when it happens in your eyes, you go blind. So rather than deal with the blood sugar issue, they put you on a statin drug to keep your body from producing the cholesterol. And the only reason that cholesterol is in your arteries is to stop the bleeding, stop the burns, to stop the holes that are forming in your arteries so you don't bleed out. The way it works is that the LDL-C, supposedly the bad cholesterol, clogs the holes. Once the artery in the vein heals, the good cholesterol, the HDL-C, comes along and scrapes it away, cleans it up. But if your blood is always acidic, if you're always eating sugar and carbohydrates and starches all the time, 3, 4, 5, 6 meals a day, there is no cleanup. There's no time for the cleanup. Your body is constantly in patch mode, patching holes here, patching holes there. That's where the cholesterol comes from. Oh, but don't worry, Jerry. We have something for the sugar. We'll put you on some diabetes medicines. We'll put you on metformin. Okay. And metformin works extremely well. I'm not poo-pooing the drugs. Some of these drugs work extremely well. It's the side effects of the drugs that I have issue with. So metformin, one of the most popular drugs in the world, number 1 and number 2, it kind of first goes back and forth with average travel statin, one of the statin drugs. But the side effects of metformin is it kills the mitochondria, it damages the mitochondria inside your cells. And you end up being sluggish, brain fog. You don't quite feel right. And the reason being is because your cells don't have enough energy to do the things you normally do. Just walking, running, exercising, going to work. Your daily activity. You just feel sluggish. This is what metformin does for you. The other issue with metformin, when your mitochondria becomes damaged, tumors in cancer are a result of damaged cells. Now, the way the body works is that if your cells are damaged or old, they can't work anymore, they're not that effective, your body is supposed to clean those up at night when you sleep. During REM sleep, deep sleep, generally between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning, if you go to bed at 10 o'clock. You get into that really deep sleep or you're starting to dream, that's when that's when your body can focus on the cleanup. All the old cells, damaged ones, they'll try to repair the damaged ones. If you can't repair it, then it kills it. Recycle them and creates new ones. But in order for that to happen, you got to have your electrolytes to be in balance. That's your magnesium, that's potassium, that's your K vitamins, that's your B vitamins. So metformin damages the mitochondria in your cells. And if your body can't properly clean that up, because you're not getting proper rest. You're waking up in the middle of the night, or you're sleeping, or the TV is on all night. You may sleep, but you don't get deep sleep, REM sleep. Or your body doesn't have a chance to go through what's called autophagy. It's a Greek word that means to self-eat, to eat off yourself. In the medical field, it means autophagy is when your body does a cleanup. Now, it can happen at night when you sleep, or it can happen when you fast. Another miracle of fasting, believe it or not. The Bible tells you to fast to cure yourself. Who knew that fasting would cure so many things? Now we're just starting to find out. So the metformin that you take to get the sugar out of your blood, push it through your urine, through your kidneys, it damages your cells. Now it's supposed to put a lot of stress on your kidneys. So over time, your kidneys stop working as effective. But don't worry, JR. We got a fix for that too. They put you on another pill, a diuretic. One of the most popular drugs out there for folks. They have a diuretic drug out there, I believe it's called Lysic. Flamiseride is a common name. In the hospital, they call it Lysic. Once again, another drug that works extremely well. It will definitely cause you to start going to the bathroom and urinate all that extra fluid out. Well, see, Joe, we take care of that problem. See, the only problem with that is that when you flush out your kidneys that way, it pushes out all the electrolytes. The electrolytes get low. And your body needs the magnesium and the potassium in order to clean up the damaged cells from the metformin. So you see the chain reaction? You start off with one thing, they give you a pill for it, it creates another problem, they give you a pill for it, which creates another problem, they give you, and it's just a chain. And once they put you on these pills, they don't want to take you off. They don't ever want to take you off. They'd rather sell their firstborn child than take you off a medicine. If you don't believe me, next time you go to your doctor, sit down and talk to him. Say, Doc, what is it going to take for me to get off some of these medicines? And then look at the body language. They're going to double talk. They're going, we can take a look at it. We can reevaluate. We can write all this double talk. The answer is never. We don't care what you improve your markers. We don't care how well you get, how healthy your body get. The answer is, I don't want to take you off. And the reason being is because they don't want you to die on their watch and someone say that the reason you died was because the doctor took you off this medicine. So that way, at least if they keep you on the medicine, you have the option not to take it. You don't have to take it. But at least they say that they prescribed it for you, it was there. It's not on me. I gave them all the medicine to keep them alive. Plus some. That's my dog, Dobby. Background. He's a barker. He's probably going outside to bark right now. So the point is that the medicines do their job. They work extremely well. I'm not going to poo-poo on any of the medicines that are out there. What I'm poo-pooing on is that you have to pay attention to the side effects of all these medicines that you're taking. And especially if you're taking them while you're young, because your body can deal with it. The older you get, your body's going to break down even faster. the side effects your body get to a point where it just can't keep fighting off the side effects of the medicines. Eventually it gives way to it. And every time another one of those side effects kick in, it becomes the norm of your body. Because your body just can't deal with it. They have another medicine for you, another pill for you, another injection for you. It seems like take the GLP-1 drug, hormone. This is supposed to be the miracle drug. When the secret got out, we knew that a lot of rich celebrity types are already taking it to lose weight. Now it's pretty much every other commercial you see on TV, radio. Everybody's advertising. There's all these different flavors of it: pills, drops, injections. And then the dirty little secret with that it's a hormone, but it's an artificial hormone. So guess what? Whenever you take artificial hormones like insulin, GLP-1, and others, your body stops producing it naturally. Because you have this hormone flowing through your body that your body didn't produce. So there's no point in me producing it if you get it from another source. And then guess what happens when you stop taking GLP-1? All the weight comes back, plus some. Because now your body naturally is producing a lot less of GLP-1 than it was before. They keep your hunger in check. Now there's nothing to keep your hunger in check once you get on this stuff long term and then you stop. It takes a while for your body to kick in its own natural production. It doesn't just happen overnight. And while your body is adjusting to a new environment now with you not taking it, it's going to take a while, but it will eventually. But by the time it does, guess what? You already gained all the weight back, plus some. So you're worse off than you were before. And I'm not doing the show. I'm not telling y'all this to scare you. I'm not trying to scare you off medicine. What I'm trying to do is encourage you to manage your health care. Don't leave it up to your doctors. Your doctors are smart people, but they're the most sophisticated licensed drug dealers in the world, is what they are. They may not want to admit it, but really they're just minions for the drug companies. Because all they really know is how to match up a symptom. I got your lab reports back here, Mr. Stewart. Your A1C is a little high. So I'm going to put you on insulin and metformin and Jardiance and some other drugs, diabetes stuff, and a water pill. Just get the pattern start right. Now, once have any of my doctors ever took the time out to address the underlying reason for sickness? If my blood sugar is high, why is your blood sugar high? Most likely it's nutrition, your gut biome. Maybe you're insulin resistant because you eat too much, eat too frequently. You're not giving your gut biome a chance to take a break. You need to fast every now and then. You need to eat less frequently, less snacks, less processed foods. Sugar, carbohydrates, and starch you need to cut out of your diet. Have any of my doctors had that conversation with me? No. No. So the underlying reason for my blood sugar being high, elevated, is never addressed. Insulin, too much insulin in your body from eating too, every time you eat, put something in your mouth, piece of gum, piece of candy, no matter what it is, if it's anything other than water, soft drink, juices, so it doesn't matter. Touches your tongue sends a signal to the pancreas to release insulin. Because know it has some food that's getting ready to be digested. And when that food is digested, 10, 15 minutes later, whatever your gut biome puts into the blood system has to be taken out. You just can't have glucose and sugar floating around through your blood for too long. It creates too many problems. So your body alerts the rest of your body, your pancreas alerts the rest of your body that now it's feeding time. In a few minutes, you guys, there's going to be a whole buffet of food coming through the veins. Everybody needs to eat now. Get this, because what you eat is going to turn into glucose. That's what your body runs off of. That's the sugar that your body runs off of. And having that flow through your body, that's where your glucose level comes from. That's what your A1C is based on. The A1C is just a percentage of how much sugar you have in your blood at any given time. And we normally accept that if you have 5.6% or less to about 4.4%, that's good. Anything less than 4.4 is bad because you don't have enough now. Now you don't have enough to keep your body running because your body needs the fuel to run. It only needs about 4 to 5.6% of your blood needs to be glucose. Just 1/10 of a point over that, 5.7. Your doctor may tell you, oh, you're pre-diabetic. 5.7 to 6.5 is pre-diabetic. If people don't think too much, well, we'll come back in 6 months and we'll check your A1C again, see where we are. Or they may put you on some metformin, some other drugs, some injections, a couple of diabetic pills at that time to help you deal with it. Calcium blockers. And once again, they never address the underlying problem. They're just fixing the symptom. But the symptom is going to create other problems in your body when you fix it artificially like that. Your body wants to be in sync, wants to be in harmony. All things have to operate a certain way for you to be healthy. If you artificially force it to do something, it creates another problem. And that requires another drug or two to fix that, which creates another problem, which creates more drugs. Before you know, you've taken 20 pills a day. Obscene. The amount of drugs they push on people today. Just 20 or 30 years ago, 2 or 3 drugs was about what people took if they were sick. Now it's common for people to take 10 or 15 drugs a day. And the doctors don't even bat an eye at all these drugs they put you on. There is no testing whatsoever where every combination of all these drugs have been tested. None. Each drug is sort of individually tested, most of them are. And I say that with a little sarcasm, because the testing is not always done through the FDA now. New drugs are. For new drugs that are not grandfathered in, they have rigorous testing procedures that they put the drug through. But if that drug has some chemical in it that's been grandfathered, it's already been approved, like for instance sugar, salt, those are food items. The FDA has already approved that these are safe to eat. Wood chips, believe it or not, safe to eat. Certain petroleum products, especially dyes, the red dye, the blue dye, stuff that they put in the cereals, is deemed safe to eat. So if the drug has some element in it that's been already approved, then you don't go through the rigorous, you don't go through the testing that you normally go to for a new drug. They have a different track for that drug. They let the pharmaceutical companies test it themselves, do their own studies. So instead of a new drug, it takes 7 to 10 years to get to market. When you develop that new drug with some old ingredients in it, that's already been grandfathered, you can bring that to market in 2 or 3 years. You cut your costs down. It takes a lot of money to develop these drugs, test them. So the quicker you get to market, start getting your money back, the better. The overall point is that I would encourage everybody to go out to the website, thelifestyle360.com, take the longevity test, get your LLS score, and see what it is. Look on the right side of the chart and get what your expected life expectancy number is supposed to be, and plug that in. You plug in the rest of the information. And hopefully you get some positive number. If you do, great. Regardless of what number you get, good number, fair number, critical number, reach out to thelifestyle360.com, folks. There's a contact section there. You can put your information in there. Give me your phone number. They'll reach out to you and call you. If you get a good score, then you want to do everything possible, especially as you get older, your body starts slowing down and breaking down. You just want to maintain what you have. So if you start off with good stock, you want to maintain good stock. And they have something they call the 100-year body. You should be able to get 100 years out of your body. You have places like over in Okinawa. Some of the longest living people, I mean, they average almost 100 years. Average. There are people living to 110, 120 years old over there. But it's not uncommon to see 80, 90-year-old people still working the fields, exercising, carrying stuff, being very active. Their brains are sharp. But here's what they're not doing. They're not eating McDonald's. They're not eating fast food. They're not eating out. They stay home. They cook. They eat vegetables. Not starchy vegetables. No potatoes. No sweet potatoes. And then broccoli. They're doing some leafy greens. Also some bean sprouts. A lot of fish. So they have diets that are higher omega-3s, not omega-6, omega-3. Good for your body. And they don't have a history of diabetes, heart problems, heart disease, vascular issues. They die from natural causes. It's because they've gotten too old. Their body just can't continue anymore. But they're well past 100 at that point. And you don't see them 70, 80, 90 years old in wheelchairs, all crumpled up, brain dead, wearing adult Pampers. They have very viable lives, even into their senior years. They still exercise. They go out there and do their Tai Chi and they do their martial arts. At least they go through the motions, which is almost like a dance. It looks very smooth and graceful. You say, oh, well, that's not much of a workout, GR. You know what? Try it. I mean, I thought the same thing. I thought, this Pilates doesn't look like much of a workout. Till you get on a Pilates machine and start doing it. You realize how hard it is. People who are very good at it make it look easy because their bodies are strong and they can do the movements. You start discovering muscles that you haven't used very well. Your movements are very choppy and strained and hard to perform. I remember many years ago when my wife worked at Bally's. She invited me to one of her Group X classes, a fitness class. And I decided to go. Finally accepted the invitation and decided to go. And we were just dating back then. And they were just kind of doing their workout and they had some little weights. 2-pound weights that they were doing the workout with. I decided, hey, 2 pounds, huh? That's nothing. Give me the 4-pounder. I'm a man. And here are all these women. I didn't survive the 45-minute class. I was pretty much spent after about 15 minutes. And even switching over to the 2-pound weight, the lighter one, I was still spent. So that's my point, is that people who are in good shape and do things well make it look easy. Don't think it is easy, because it looks easy. Professional golf players make golf look easy until you get a golf club and go out there and hit that little small ball and try to get it in that 2-inch hole. Gymnasts make it look easy until you get out there and try to do the routine yourself. So in this particular case, get your longevity score, get your LLS. That's the Lifestyle 360 longevity score, LLS. See what your number is. If you're happy with the number, you just want to maintain it, you need some help just to tweak it and get you in top form and help you maintain that, reach out to the folks at Lifestyle 360, or the Lifestyle 360 officially. If your number is fair, you have a couple of things that are kind of not in balance, before it becomes critical. The earlier you start, the better. The earlier you start, the more years you can add on to the backside of your life. The closer you get to the backside of your life and death, it's not impossible then, it just becomes a lot harder. A lot harder. If you have a life expectancy of 65 based on your medical condition, where you are, and you're 60, can you get to 100? Probably not. But you can add another 5, 10, 15 years to your life. The 100 may be out of reach because you've done too much damage to it. There's not enough time to undo all of the damage that you've done. You've had 30 years of damaging your body as an adult. You're not going to fix that in a few years. I wish it worked that way, boy. I really did. I've done a lot of damage to my body. I'm 61 now. From 20 to 41, 40 years. So the earlier you start, you can buy yourself more time. You can add years to your life, but you have to start. Don't wait until your body is ready to break down and you're just a few steps from the grave. Now there is a point of no return. That you can start today and turn around and die tomorrow. Because your body needs time to adjust to what you're doing. If you're drinking more water, you're staying hydrated, your kidneys are working properly, you finally get your lungs and your liver to start working correctly. Your blood pressure is in check. Your A1C is in normal range. When all these health factors, risk factors, are now in check and your body's in balance, now your body can focus on healing. Because it's not focused on overcoming the sickness of your body. It takes a lot of energy for your body to keep you alive. To undo the damages. You're telling me stuff your mouth with a Big Mac. You're damaging your body. Your body has to fight against that. It does everything possible to counteract that Big Mac, the poison that you put into your food, your mouth. Like I said before, I started the show off by talking about cancer. Cancer is not something you inhale. You don't just like on the Marvel movies, you walk up under a vat full of chemicals that spills on you, and all of a sudden all your cells start mutating and become either a monster or a superhero. Cancer doesn't come from the outside. But outside conditions, outside chemicals, destruction of your body, destruction of your mitochondria is what causes the cancer. You have cells that are damaged, they don't get recycled, they stay alive. Those cells turn into tumors. The tumor, sometimes if it's small enough and stays that size, a lot of us, most of us have them. Most of the time, your medical doctor will ignore it. As long as they stay that size, we'll check it again in 6 months. We'll do another MRI or abdominal scan, CT scan. As long as it's not growing, it's not doesn't seem to be bothering you, we'll leave it alone. A lot of men are walking around with cancer cells. It's not a matter if you're going to get cancer if you're a man, it's just a matter of when you're going to get it. The older you get, especially around the colon, you're going to develop cancer cells down there. And as long as they are just cells and stay small, generally your medical team, your care team is not concerned about it. The cancer only becomes a problem when it releases a hormone that encourages our blood vessels to grow and attach to it. Now the cancer wants to grow. It wants to eat. It's not satisfied just eating the normal nutrients that flow through your blood that comes its way. It wants its own buffet line. And one day, once it grows, it wants to franchise and expand and grow. We call that, that's what the cancer metastasizes. It's not just good enough staying, growing and living where it is. It now wants to expand, go into your brain, go into your lungs, attack other organs. And your body doesn't naturally attack the cancer cell. Why? Because it started off as this is one of your white blood cells. Your body still looks at it as like, hey, you're part of the family. This is why cancer is so hard to kill. You can take chemo and you can take radiation. But that doesn't kill the cancer. It kills your cells also. Makes you very sick. You have to be on the verge of death eradicating cancer. Hair fall out. You lose weight. You feel like crap every day. You're throwing up. Can't keep anything down. While you're going through the treatment, they're steady putting the chemo poison through your veins in order to, but like I said, it doesn't just attack the cancer cell, it attacks all your cells. And if you survive all of that, if you die from it, they just simply die from cancer-related conditions. They don't say the chemo killed you. But you survive all of that, and you still haven't addressed the underlying reason for why you got the cancer, and guess what? The cancer comes back. How many times have you heard a person say, well, I'm in recovery? They went through all of that, fought the cancer. Okay, I checked, there was no more cancer. I've been cancer-free for 2 years, 3 years. And all of a sudden they get sick again, they go into the hospital. They do a scan and find out the body's just rid with cancer. It didn't just come back, it came back with a vengeance. Because not all the cancer is eradicated when you can become cancer-free. It just means it stopped growing. They got rid of most of it. But there's still a few cells around there that still survive it all. Like I told you, when it was just cancer cells that's not growing, not a tumor, people ignore them because they're too small. It's not worth, at that point, because you can try to eradicate a few cancer cells could kill you now. To get rid of all of it. But it's almost like the cancer cells have a memory now of what happened before, so if they ever come back to life again and grow again, I'm not going to sit around and wait for you to pump me full of chemo and radiation to kill me. So now the growth and expansion happened much quicker than the first time. Now, there's been a great deal of research on cancer. I told you guys in a previous show, and I'll repeat this story for those who hadn't heard it. About 20 or 30 years ago, when AIDS was prevalent, big scared then. That was a COVID of that age. There was an African doctor who said he could cure AIDS and he could cure cancer through fasting. 30 to 40-day fast would cure both of them. And then there was a Russian fasting research center in Russia that made the same claim. And of course, the medical establishment just laughed at these folks. Saying it can't possibly be true. Hell, if we could just get rid of cancer by fasting, everybody would be on a fast who has cancer. And so now we're starting to find out from the research that you can starve cancer. Cancer lives off two things, off glucose and glutamine. Glucose is what the rest of your body runs off of. Except cancer has a voracious appetite. It eats and it eats and it eats. It needs lots of sugar. And then if you can't get enough sugar, it'll take the amino acids, glutamine, and it'll burn that. Well, it doesn't really burn it, because your cells burn. That's why you need oxygen and fuel. So that's burning. Cancer runs off fermentation. It's almost like what iron does with water. It rusts. And so one of the ways you can keep your cancer in check is by starving it. You have to cut out the sugars, the carbohydrates, and the starches. Not just eliminate some of them, not just reduce it. You have to cut it out. Your body has to become fat adaptive, which means it runs off proteins and amino acids from the proteins and fat. And when that happens, your body produces, instead of your liver producing glucose, your liver now produces ketones. And you're in a constant state of ketosis, which means that your body's run off ketones now. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot you can do about the glutamine. But there are drugs, glutamine blockers, that your oncologist can give you to block the absorption of glutamine. And if you do that, you once again, the big pharma is going to confuse you and say, well, that's not a cure for cancer because you'll still have cancer at the end. Yes, you will. That's not a lie. That is the truth. But regardless of what treatment you take, you're always going to have cancer in the end. Some of the cancer is going to survive. Even when they declare you to be cancer-free, you still have cancer cells in your body. But by putting the cancer under metabolic stress, by taking away its food supply, you kill the tumors. You kill the part that's going to kill you. Because there's no food for it. It shrinks up and goes away. Are there a few cells still floating around your body, still living wherever they can? Yes. They're like cockroaches. It's hard to get rid of all of them. But the one that survives, as long as it stays small and not cause any problems, you're okay. It also means that you can't go back to your lifestyle that you had before that caused you to be sick, that caused your body to allow cancer to grow and spread and proliferate. You can't go back to being a fast food eater. You can't go back to being a carb eater. You will forever have to stick to a very regimented nutrition plan and exercise to keep your body strong. You have to keep your electrolytes up, which means your potassium and potassium, magnesium, and your essential vitamins, all your K vitamins, your B vitamins, vitamin D, in the wintertime and fall when the sun you don't get much sunlight, you got to find a way to get you 5 or 10, 15 minutes a day of sunlight. If not, you need to take your vitamin D supplement. But the very secret is vitamin D is fat soluble. You can take it on an empty stomach, you can take it whatever you want. But if you're not eating enough fat in your diet, what you're eating with the vitamin D, your body's not going to absorb it. It's just going to flush through your digestive system. So you may as well not take it if you're not going to take it correctly. Your K vitamins are the same way. And the government and the food companies have scared us off a lot of natural foods because they want you to eat processed foods. Scares you away from being fat. Man, saturated fat has been in public enemy number one for 50, 60 years now. Low fat this, low sugar that. And we've simply got fatter and sicker eating processed food. Hydrogenated oil replaced natural oils. We don't use lard anymore. We don't use tallow anymore. Well, in my household we do. I was just talking to my wife earlier today. She, I don't know what I think she made some eggs or something, but man, she was saying, how great it was, how great it tastes to cook eggs with bacon grease. We save all our grease. Bacon grease, you smoke a brisket, we do one big meat a month. We smoke that, we save the grease. You know how much tallow is, which is just beef fat, melted down in the store? Quite expensive. But people cook briskets and they just throw the grease away. Save that grease. Cook bacon, they throw the grease away. Save it. We save all of our grease. You smoke a ham, pork shoulder, we save the grease. Bacon, save the grease. For Thanksgiving, we smoked a turkey. My wife's family, one of my family members does a duck for Thanksgiving rather than turkey. So we tried it this year. Just the two of us. Small duck. Then we got 2 jars of duck grease off that thing. The thing was very greasy. Man, I think duck grease is even better than bacon. And then sometimes we'll do gourmet grease because we'll mix them. A little duck grease, a little bacon grease, a little beef tallow. Mix it together. It has all kind of flavor because it's fat. That's why the flavor is in the foods that you eat, from the fat. And as soon as we were on a low-fat diet, we got fatter. Society, I'm not talking about me and my wife, but just in general. People got fatter as we went no fat. As we went hydrogenated oil instead of natural oil. Seed oil. Seed oil started out as lubricants for machines. But since we couldn't grow enough and kill enough pigs to make lard anymore, they had to find a way to take this machine oil and make it consumable for humans. So they found a way to process it, hydrogenate, which basically put more oxygen molecules into it to make it somewhat presentable. It still smelled like high heaven. So they put all kinds of chemicals to hide the smell, the color, the taste. But, here's the dirty little secret on those oil, all the vegetable oil, Mazola and corn oil and vegetable oil. Once you get past 400, they start, all those chemicals they put in there to help make it tolerable, start breaking down. That's why damn oil stinks after a while. Yeah, they're tossing it out. We don't toss out any of our oils. Every time we cook bacon, we collect all of it, put it into our jars. The only stuff we don't save is the hamburger grease. We give that to the dogs. We put that in their dog food. All the other grease that from melting off animal fat, we save. That's what we cook with. So anyway, my time is up. I would encourage you, the URL is right there, thelifestyle360.com. Get off the show. Go to the website. Get your LLS score. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. Just fill in the information best you can. Let it give you a score. If you come out with a good score, great. Reach out to you may want a consultant to consult with to help you maintain your good score, to keep you on that path. Here's what it's going to take as you get older. Your body changes, so you have to change and make adjustments to keep it healthy. If you're healthy now, great. Here's some things you can do that's going to buy you years on the back end of your life. You come out with a bad score, don't panic. Don't give up. You need to reach out to a consultant right away. Don't sit there and say, well, I got time. I'll do it next week. Reach out to the Lifestyle 360 folks and work with them. They'll work with you. Put a plan together. And I'm telling you folks from their years of experience, they understand how these things work. They understand that all of us have had these plans and diets and stuff that routines. We buy these memberships in January, and by February and March, we're done with the gym, but we're still paying for it. They understand all this. They understand the psychology that if there's too much pain involved in it, you're not going to do it. You're not going to stick with it. So they do their absolute best to put a plan together that's shaped for you to help you ease into healthy living. So it's not painful. So by the time you get to where you need to be, it's just a maintenance program at that point. But they can help you get there, and the sooner you start, the more years you add to the back end of your life. So this is the last story I'm going to share with you, and then I'm going to close it out. And I know I'm over a few minutes, but that's okay because it's my show. You know, I'm reminded of Steve Jobs, multi-billionaire, one of the founders of Apple. And he died of cancer, young age, in his 50s. Still a young man. Married, kids. In his last year of life, he traveled the world. He tried every experimental drug there was for cancer. All of his doctors and experts he had around him, they all prayed the same author of pharmaceutical. That's what they believe in, drugs. And he ended up dying, taking every experimental cancer drug that he could find. But before he died, he was very candid in some interviews that he would give up everything he had, cars, houses, wealth, everything, all of it. Billions of dollars is what he was worth. Think about 8 to 12 billion was the estimate. Then he traded all away. He could just add another decade of life. Have more time with his kids, his grandkids. Spend more time with his wife. Doing some things that that were on his bucket list he hadn't gotten to. And when he was facing, he knew that he had less than a year to live. Cancer spread throughout his body. The underlying cause of his cancer was never addressed, was never corrected. See, back then, when we wasn't doing much research on how to starve cancer, there's a doctor who won a Nobel Peace Prize for medicine because he basically outlined a process for starving cancer, for making it weak. And this may not eradicate the cancer, but if you weaken it, if you put it under metabolic stress, then you can have low doses of the existing chemical and the existing cancer medicine to near wipe out the cancer. Now the chemo is not so bad, you're taking it in very low doses. Your hair may not fall out. You may not get sick every day, throwing up. Maybe it's something you can just tolerate and live with minor discomfort. If the cancer is weak, if you cut off the food supply, it no longer has enough food and it's starving to death. Now just a little bit of the drug can take it out. You don't need massive doses of it to kill the cancer and all your other cells with it. If Steve Jobs was alive today, going through the same thing, being faced with a year to live, I promise you, I guarantee you, he'd be on a fast right now. He'd be on one of those fitters or talking to one of these doctors here that look for more natural homeopathic cure to address these things. He'd be talking to this doctor who won the Nobel Prize on starving cancer. They would have told him the same thing I'm telling you. Cut the carbs out, cut the sugars, cut the starches. Eat a diet, not just heavy, but eat a meat-only, protein and fat-only diet. You even want to cut away a few of the healthy vegetables like broccoli, because there are a few carbs in the broccoli. Not much, but just a few. And when you're dealing with cancer, you want to get rid of all the carbs. No glucose whatsoever. You want to totally shut that down. And now some glutamine blockers can take away the other food. Now your cancer is weakening. Every day it gets weaker and weaker as it starves. It doesn't survive quite a bit long time. It'll eat itself to survive, and wait on you to regain your normal eating habits and feed it. So that's why you can't, once you go down that path, you can't reverse it and go back. And then once the cancer is gone, they say, oh, you're cancer free now. You still can't go back. Because the very conditions that caused the cancer to grow the first time will come back with vengeance the second time if you don't reverse course. So anyway, that's enough of the speech. Tomorrow we'll talk about something else. We'll probably be talking about Tampon Tim and those Minnesotans and the Somalians, not in the sense that they're grifting. What I want to figure out is, what I want to show is just how desperate Democrats are to buy votes, that they will allow 80,000, like, how many Somalians are in Minnesota? 80,000. On welfare, 85% of them on welfare. Other 15% are grifting. And they allow this condition to happen for 80,000 votes. But you have black folks in this country, millions, 40 million, voting for Democrats. And the Democrats don't allow you to break the law for a vote. They don't allow you to grift off the system and steal. You steal a few $1,000s in benefits, extra benefits, they throw you in jail. Somalians are stealing billions of dollars, sending money back to Somalia to fund terrorism, and that's okay. What's wrong with this picture, people? What's wrong with it? The Democrats know they got your vote. That's why. The Somalians were smart enough to negotiate a package deal for theirs. You don't let us grift, you don't let us get away with this. Hell, people that live in sub-Saharan Africa with 100 plus degrees every day, moving to migrating to Minnesota, that ice chest, cold 10 months out of the year. Folks are not in Minnesota and Maine for no reason. They're there because they can grift. In exchange for their vote, you have to open the doors for them to grift. And the Democrats said okay. Tampon Tim said okay. Keith Ellis said okay. Mayor Herr and Mayor Furr said okay. Yeah, this is why he was picked to be Kamala Harris' running mate. Because they want to take this system from Minnesota and spread it out everywhere. As long as you take the money and you're willing to give us some of it, support the business that we tell you to support the local economy here. Anyway, we'll talk about it tomorrow, people. Why your vote's not worth as much as the Somalian vote up in Minnesota. You vote both for voting for the same party. So anyway, that's my time. If you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and then share the link with others. If you're watching the show live or you're streaming it later on, all the love you show me is appreciated as I try to grow the channel. And if you have some topics that you want me to cover, feel free to reach out to me. Next time I'll post my email address, but it's jrstewart@openness.com. That's OPENESS.com. And of course, JR Stewart is just JRSTEWART @openness.com. So until tomorrow, 10 p.m. Central, that's my time. I'll see you tomorrow.